Interesting. Hi, Rob. How are we? Three viewers. Three viewers. Getting there. Five. Okay. So, good evening and welcome back to another Wednesday evening. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, there's something actually that I want to do on the. Oh, Rob says his wallets took a basing with 6 new kits. Now that is very interesting. So first of all, we're going to talk about Rob's wallet, and more importantly, what he bought with those, with the basing that it took. So come on, Rob, splurge your details. What have you bought? I need to know now. While he's typing all that out, we will. So there's something I'm planning on. Now, other channels do this. I'm just trying to think whether my format's going to be the same. So, Smooth basically has a section where he looks through a page on his channel and he looks at the new builds that have gone on the page during the week. So he does that. ISM do something similar as well, where they look at stuff that's been put on. So what I wanted to do was create an album on the Sprue Surgery Waiting Room, and if while people are sort of out there looking through the internet and stuff like that, they see a fantastic kit, something really good that they think's been made well or painted well, or it's just really interesting, then share it to that album, and then every Wednesday we will have a look and see what builds people have, what builds have taken people's eye. So I hope that makes sense. So there'll be an album on the Sprue Surgery Waiting Room. We'll call it, what will we call it? Eye Candy. We'll call it Eye Candy. And in that album, if you're browsing during the week and you see a kit and you think, wow, that is awesome, doesn't matter if it's somebody in the group, out of the group, it's not relevant. It's just, something you see, and then you pop a copy of that on there, and then we will go, when on the Wednesday night comes around, we'll look through that list of things, and we will see what people have been looking at. So there we go. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to try and start that's like straight away. So for next week. So if you see anything out there, put a copy of it in the Eye Candy album, and we will have a look next week. So that's for next week. In the meantime, Rob has come back with a 30-second 109. Wow, yeah, that's doesn't say, is that an air fix or what? I don't know. 30-second Hellcat, 124th Volvo BTCC. No, I don't know that. 30-second Corsair, 30-second P51. 30-second P47. I'm getting a theme here. And you've pre-ordered the 30-second B24. Your wallet has took more than a basin. Jesus, that's wow, that's like mortgage territory. That is a lot of awesome kits. I don't know the brands of them, but I mean, even if they were Revel and Airfix, that's still a great selection of kits, although I don't think so. The 30-second B24, that's going to be massive. The Corsair P51, 30-second 109. Yeah, that 30-second B24 is going to be huge. Huge, I tell you. So anyway, that's that. In terms of what I've been building this week, not a lot really. I've been in this strange place where I've had a slump in the mojo again, and I've started opening loads of kits, and starting them and then putting them away a day later and moving on to something else. I don't know why. I've never done this before, but yeah, I've certainly done it this time. Just bear with me a second. I've just remembered I have forgotten to put the link out for anyone that wants to join. So please just bear with me a second. So anyone in the group, Sprue Surgery Waiting Room, or anyone that comes into the Hangouts, feel free to come and join us. I'm just about to put the link up on the page. I think any second now. I am getting there. Just clicking on Facebook now. Yeah, so I've been in that weird sort of territory where I'm able to get any interest generated. Now, of course, there's the Russian build still going on. We've got a lot more people starting to join that now. It's finally starting to pick up. We've got a few people joined, a few people that have joined that have not yet listed their model on the album, but they are taking part. Bear with me a sec. There we go. Let me just pop this in quickly so that I normally forget, and then it doesn't get done till the end of the show. So for tonight's live show, there we go. Copy. There we go. That is away. That's gone up. So anyone that's interested in joining, feel free. And I'll just pop one in the Hangout for the Hangout members as well. There we go. We're done. Right. So those of you that have been following will know I also started the Oh, 6 subs away from 500. Yeah, I know. I knew I was getting close, but it's very wintry out. Yeah, yeah, it is. And you're at the north as well, so yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we've got the 3D printer series that has started now. That has started and is underway. Today we started building the printer. That is in the that's in YouTube now. So if anyone wants to watch that, episode 1 looks at unboxing the printer. Episode 2 looks at the start of putting it together, and we're gonna progress on with that. We've got the electronic series coming up. Got to keep plugging these to get people's interest in them. So looking forward to doing them. I really am, because this is all stuff that I'm learning as well. I'm just waiting on a few essential pieces that I need, certain LEDs, certain battery boxes and things like that that I need to have, so that I can crack on with those live shows. Unfortunately, because I'm buying a lot of the parts from China, they're coming, the delivery dates are quite long. Anytime between now and February the 27th, I think, was one. They're generally a lot quicker, but it is Christmas, so there we go. We'll see. Oh, Sam. Hi, Sam. It's nice to see you in. So there we go. Now then, as for building, I've just got, hold on, sorry, I've just got to open this that came through today. Oh, leave that for a minute. I haven't put the blade on the knife yet. So there's been no progress with the Spitfire. As you know, it got smashed up pretty badly. Let's just flick that down. It got smashed up pretty bad. It's had to have extensive repairs to it. Yeah, it's getting there slowly. And it's just had to have another round of filler on. Unfortunately, I filled the wrong hole. I filled this one. No, I filled this one when I should have filled. No, let me get this right. I filled that one when I should have filled that one. That's it. I think that's right. But yeah, so that's got another round of filler on, but it's getting very close to being painted now. Once I've sanded this next batch off, it should be good to paint. So we're getting close. We're getting close. So that should be starting back up very soon. Obviously, the Italeri Escort has not made any further progress at the moment, I'm afraid. We'll wait and see on that. I'm just having a look down because I've done so many things that I've started. So the main one that I'm going with now at the moment is this. Now this is a MiG-21 reconnaissance. Let me just... Now then, this was now I'm trying to remember this correctly. This was a Christmas gift, I believe. I believe this was a Christmas gift from Paul at ISM last year. Last year? Is it last year? Been a year? Yeah, last year. And very grateful for it. It has a ton of plastic in. You know, when it comes and it's all wrapped, the plastic sits right up there on the top. I mean, I haven't got it all in there, so you know, you've got that goes in there as well, that goes in there as well. a couple of others. You've got the manual, and it's just absolutely stocked full of plastic, right? And you think, wow, that is amazing. That's going to take some building. But then you come and you have a look at the instructions. These are your sprues. All of the, let me get this right. Everything in blue is not used. So you immediately eliminate what, 50% of the plastic, which is crazy. Why put all that plastic in? If you know, you could get a smaller box. Obviously, there's obviously different variations for different kits. I get that, but that's an awful lot of wastage. You know, that's got to be a good kit's worth of material there. But anyway, I decided to build this. So when I first got this, there was a group build going to be starting at ISM, but I didn't didn't take part in that at the time. I missed out on it, and I didn't really feel like building it for quite some time afterwards. But now I've got the Russian build, and I've really sort of I picked it off the shelf, and it was a choice between this. A MiG-29 Fulcrum and a Zvezda Foxbat, something Foxbat, and I couldn't decide, so I let Bob decide, and I let Bob and who else was it? Can't remember. Bob, Ian, I think it was Bob and Ian, so they decided on this. And that's where I'm at tonight. So I've not got very far. I've just put these parts together here. Obviously the cockpit. I haven't done any painting or anything yet. Come on. There you go, Angela's got it. Right, so let us carry on. I like the trials. No, I'm a celebrity. Yeah. Oh dear, I don't know. Let me just. Where's I've lost me arrow. There we go. Come on, come up. Yeah, all right, there we go. As I suspected. Right, let's carry on then. So that was an optional R23, P6. I've done that. I got that on. I've got the flight stick in. I'll put those on. I'm not bothering with those silly little photo etch straps. They really annoy me. I spent ages with them last night, and in the end, this came close to being squashed flat. D20 canopy, open canopy only. Interesting. What could could that possibly be? Well, I like to have the canopies open. So D20 it is. And now, because there is so much plastic, I've got to wade through it looking for Sprue D. And the thing is, E. Should get my masking tape out and label them. Just can't be F. So I'll just remember F is a small one. There we go, D. D21. Don't forget, these are the top prize for. Well, they come in this rather splendid box for the Russia build. Very, very sturdy box. Once you've that's pretty made. You know, I would say that's made of wood. It's that strong. To me, that seems to be made of wood. There we go. The 20. There it is.
Good evening.
All right, Terry.
How you doing, mate?
How you doing after your extravaganza the other night?
I was rough as fuck for the day. I lost the day.
I'll tell you what, I put it on in the morning and I couldn't stop laughing for the first 15 minutes. It was amazing. I called Angela over. I called Andrew over and I said, look at this. And even she started laughing at it.
I didn't realise I was pissed.
Oh, with Uncle Fester. He's brilliant.
Yeah. I hadn't realised I'd drunk quite so much vodka, actually.
How much did you have in the end? Did you demolish that bottle?
And a can of beer, mate, yeah. But that was over a period of like 10 hours or something.
Yeah. That was.
But when I look back at it, I thought, you know what? If I hadn't got Frankie in the show, I would have just taken that off of you. Because I was plastered. I'm like, slurring on my words. Fuck.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it's funny. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get any subscribers off the back of it.
Oh, no. It reminds me when I was on one of fucking Paul's ones and I was absolutely bloated and I was pretending to drink IPA and everything. They were like, Terry, no. Yeah, I could get myself to some messes, but yeah. I'm off it until Christmas. I think that's the best way. Let my liver recuperate a wee bit. Yeah.
It was good stuff and all. It was good vodka you had. It was the
the Russian Standard. I like that, mate.
Russian Standard.
Right. Rob B's asking, Mark, when does the Russian build end?
Well, at the moment, it's scheduled for the 31st of January, but there's like a sudden flurry of interest in it. And if that's the case, and there's people, there's enough people to carry it on, I'll just let it roll forward.
I've started building my plane, but I don't even think I'll have it finished by then. So
I wouldn't worry about the time at the moment. If you're interested, get going, because I won't end it until everybody's finished.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not going to be, I'm not really, because I'm not really into the sort of strict rules and all that. But obviously, it's got to end at some point, and there will be a decision made. But if somebody's actively building and they've not sort of shelved it and just, then it will carry on until they're finished.
Yeah, Colin decided to extend ours because the whole idea of the Star Trek thing, a lot of people like to light stuff up and that, and I mean, it takes a lot longer than normal, so I think it's up to May or something he's extended it, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's because that the electronics is really taking off now.
Rob's saying he's getting a new camera for Christmas, so can post pics then. Can I still join?
Have you got a camera, Rob, that you can just you need some way of just a picture showing you haven't started the kit, that it hasn't been built already?
Was it just me, or did you freeze for a wee second there?
Sorry?
I just thought your audio froze for a second there. It was maybe just me.
No, let me just pop that back down there because I'm... Right, canopy open only. Now we've got... Oh, we're doing some engines. Not engines, what are they called?
Engines. Jet engines or something.
Jet tubes.
Sarge seems to have this impression that I ride a motorcycle in a mankini.
That's not something you've mentioned on the other night, is it?
I might have mentioned it on your show once that I had a lime green mankini that I was going to out for the...
I know you definitely mentioned that.
Spring summer range, but yeah, Sarge seems to think I ride about the motorcycle.
Right, C55.
Oh, Mark's in. Hiya, Mark. Oh, John's in as well. John, get in here. Rob says...
John.
Rob says no camera till then, mate, but I won't start it till then. It's only a 1/48 MiG-21 anyway, so... Yeah, there's a lot of people still trying to get kits and stuff. I know Colin's trying to get a kit for it and stuff.
Yeah, have you not got a friend that's got a mobile phone that can just take a picture of you holding the box and email you the photo?
Yeah, you don't have to do all the sprues and everything, just a box with all the bits in it.
Yeah, you know. There we go, that looks like C.
Sarge is asking who is all and why did everyone say hi to him? Sarge, you been drinking? I missed actually what kit that is. I heard that you got it in a Christmas present thing. What is that?
The MiG, it's an Edward Trophy Pack MiG-21.
Oh, cool. Oh, I do like the MiGs, yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing. It comes with a ton of plastic. The box is really heavy, but when you open the instructions, 50% of it's, you know, not used really.
Yeah.
A real waste of...
The Trophy packs are supposed to be really, really good. Is that 1/48 scale?
Yeah, this is, yeah. I believe so.
I've just ordered a few cheap 1/48 scale kits for Christmas and then found out I've spent far too much money. But yeah. So I've got a Corsair. Is it an FU something Corsair?
Yeah, I've got one.
I can't mind. John knows what they are that I got. And they're all in 1/48. And they were just cheap wee kits. One of them's one of those Trophy pack things, and one's just what they call a weekend edition. It doesn't have any...
Oh, yeah, it's like the next one down from the Trophy pack, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not bothered about all the photo etch and stuff anyway. It's practice for me.
And yeah, I was doing photo etch last night. It didn't go too well.
I didn't really have any problems with the photo etch. It's like some of the cockpits on these planes are so small, and when you see the built model, you spend so much time. I mean, on this model I'm doing, on where the rudder pedals are, there's like little photo etch straps, obviously to keep his feet in when he's rolling about upside down and stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't actually see them when the cockpit's on, but you know they're there. But yeah. But I mean, as I say, I've not done aircraft for years, so for me it's just a little bit of practice. So if I muck them up, I muck them up.
No, I haven't. You know, I worked out the other night, me and Bob, that I haven't actually finished one kit the whole of this year.
I was like that until Colin pushed me on a bit, and then I've got a lot of kits that are really close to finishing, but then I go like shiny things, and then I start something else because I like I actually enjoy sticking the bits of plastic together more than the actual painting of it, although I can paint them. I've probably got about 3 or 4 kits there. If I was to spend 2 days painting, I would have them finished.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the painting all of a sudden. I used to like it. I don't know what's happened. I really don't know what's happened at the moment. Just a general malaise has come over me.
Good evening, John. I think it's that sad thing, Mark. I get it when it gets, you know, the dark nights and the shitty rainy weather and you struggle to get your mojo going. I mean, I wish my modelling room was facing the other way because I sit on top of a hill and if I've got my window open for my hose for my extractor booth, the cold wind always blows in that window. So, so John's joined you, Mark, just to let you know.
Hi, John. How are you?
Just to keep you a bit of company this evening. Spidey saying he's had a Tamiya GSX 750 delivered today. Is that the Katana one? The pop-up headlight one? Always liked them when they were about in my youth. And he's coughing about my RZ250. Yeah.
My first motorbike that I really, really fell in love with was a Kawasaki AR50. I don't know if you remember them.
Yeah, remember them.
They were the little sort of little 50cc moped that was designed to look like a racing bike.
Yeah, and I liked the Suzuki ER 100. It was like a wee enduro type bike. We used to go farting about up the woods in it.
Yeah, but yeah, I loved that thing. Really did.
My mate had an FS1E. You remember the fizzies?
Oh, yeah.
But his was the chopper one. We ported it and all that. It was great. You got 45 mile an hour out of it, but we were a lot thinner back then.
Yeah, I went and done the usual thing that you do at that age. I went and got a ram air filter.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, ram air filter. Changed that, and I was like, how much faster will it go?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they get asked that question all the time in them shows.
Out with the round files, porting the exhaust, raising it by about a millimetre or so just to give it a bit more top end, and taking the restrictor out the carbs, putting bigger jets in it, and taking the restrictor ring out the exhaust to give it a whole more 5 or 6 horsepower.
Yeah, I'd done me and my mate done all that, and then because of my weight, I mean, I was quite big back then.
Excuse me.
It blew the I think it was the bearings went in it.
Oh, your big end went. Oh, God, blimey, misses.
Yeah, and it had to go in and be repaired, and in the end, I went and got a bigger engine.
Paul Shackman said he had a Yamaha Fizzy, and Spidey says that was his first bike, Mark, the AR50, painted in Marlboro colours, loved it. 40 mile an hour down. Oh, he's feet in the pillion pegs and chin on the tank. I remember that. He used to use the pillion pegs as rear sets.
Yeah, and the best of it was when it was so when you're driving around the village, because the village got like a speed limit, it felt really fast because obviously cars could only go at 30 miles an hour. And obviously the bike could do with the ram air filter, the sprocket upgrade, it could do 32. And then you go around on the AR50 down like that.
My mate had an RD125 LC, which was like the baby of the sort of 250s, and that were about once they changed the legislation for the 250s to the 125s. Oh, and that was a great wee machine, 70, 80 mile an hour, even with my size on it. I do like the LCs or what do you want to call them. But when you're 16 years old, 30, 40 mile an hour is quite fast when you're used to a push bike, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. My very first bike was a Honda Melody.
Is that the step-through things?
Yeah, the moped. When I was, 15 or 16, my mum and dad bought me a Honda Melody so I could get to work and back.
Did the job, eh?
They're quite popular now, them step-through things.
Can you remember the C70 and the C90? They used to be great off-road as well with a bouncy suspension.
Yeah, my dad had and tell you what was out a lot then, Vespers.
That's my cousin's more into Vespers and Lambrettas. we used to do naughty things to them when we had the big bikes. Because the Vespas and the Lambrettas had like a cowling on the front where you would sit your feet, you know, the sort of windshield for your legs so you don't get your lovely work trousers all wet. And if you get a couple of big, you know, 500 or 750 bikes, one on either side, and rest a foot on said foot plate, and both wind the guy up till about 80 mile an hour and peel off, it's amazing how much they wobble.
Brilliant.
Oh, this is interesting. Spidey's saying the thing cornered like crazy, that this 50cc thing. I could scrape the pegs on roundabouts. I got less brave as I got older. I tend to find as I've got older, not so much less brave. Once you've come off a bike a few times, you realise how much it hurts. And I don't bounce as well as I used to. But I used to run about on an RD250 LC with the teardrop tank, and a 350 LC. It was Terry Beckett tuned by some guy in London, Terry Beckett. And this thing was fucking mental. But when you think about how you're leaning around the corners and all that, and you look at the tyre technology back then, it's like almost like bicycle tyres, and you look at the big back tyre that's on my bike. Mental money for the classic Vespas and Lambrettas. Now, my cousin has got a 1960s Lambretta, but he's bored it out to 150cc, but he's in a scooter club, but he always carries a spare barrel and piston with him, because two-strokes are good for long journey. Oops, right, just stick another barrel and piston on it. Quite busy in the chat tonight, mate.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Just looking at it. Angela's popped in.
What are you up to tonight, John?
I've got my King Tiger Polish turret primed, and I'm working on my Sherman at the moment.
Oh, Sherman.
Yes.
Oh, that's making me hungry now. Meatballs and Bobbingtons in.
I think my chat's froze. The last thing I've got is you could find a way to use the extra stuff by Scale Model Muse.
God, that's way back.
Oh, all of a sudden it's just flashed up. Oh, well, I've got a whole load just gone by. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of...
I've been trying to read out any questions or that, but the rest it's just folk going, hello.
Mental money for the classic Vespers and Lambert taste now.
Lambrettas.
Yeah, that's where I've got up to.
Aye, that's it. Aye.
Yeah, so
That's you caught
up. There's a lot of tiny parts on this kit.
I was quite surprised with the 148th kit. I mean, I knew my fingers are too big now for 172nd stuff, but there's still quite a lot of small parts on a 148th kit.
Yeah, I mean, look at these.
Oh, you got the camera on you rather than your bench, so I can't see them.
Keep doing that.
Oh, yeah, all the wee pico tubes and, yeah.
I have got a second camera, but until I've figured out a way of swapping between the two.
Manicam, mate.
Yeah, that's...
Speak to Colin, he'll keep you right on that, because he helped me out with mine.
Yeah, that's what I need, really, because I keep forgetting. And
that way you can have, like, your face in a wee window in your desk and a big window.
Yeah, so I've got, both the cameras are fairly good. They're both Logitech. This one here is the better one. It's the C920. And the one over there is the 615, which is the next one down to this.
I know Colin was using a couple of earlier ones, and Amazon had a cracking offer on. I think it's because they've brought out a later camera. And the 920s have been going for like 25 quid, and they're normally a £60 camera.
You know, they do that about 3 times a year. You'll see that happen.
Right.
So if you're in the market for a camera, keep an eye on Amazon and just wait. They will come along.
Well, I paid £60 for my first 920, but seemingly this one that me and Colin's got now is a Logi Pro 920.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's got slightly different writing on it, but they're both good cameras. Paul Sharpman says at 17 he had a 250cc OSSA 250 Enduro. Is that a bit like the gas bikes, Paul? Like a proper, or if it's an Enduro? Ronald Borg's popped in to see you, Mark.
Oh, hi, Ronald Borg. Hello, how are you? Do I know Ronald Borg?
He's one of the followers on our channel. You've got to watch and not get assimilated by him, though, because he is obviously a Borg.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid any Borg jokes there.
I'm pretty sure it was Ronald that sent myself and Colin some of those metalizing paints to try out. Nice.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna go with a Borg joke, but then I thought I bet he gets sick to death of hearing Borg jokes. So I thought, no, I won't bother.
Paul saying he done a lot of off-road. That's where I learned on the biking, because obviously if you're not of legal age to ride on the road, if you're on a bit private land with a dirt bike, you can hone your skills, and if you fall off, it's a bit softer at a younger age.
Yeah.
Muse is telling me to stop for some reason. Spidey saying, I don't know if you're aware, Mark, but Aoshima do an AR-50 and 112. Got one ages ago. Have almost started it a few times, but it's torn between painting it stock or orange white Marlboro. I wonder if that's the one that Colin did a little vintage. Was that the AR-50?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not the best of kits, but it is what it is. It's the subject matter of the AR-50. I'm pretty sure Colin did one.
I'll have to ask Colin about that, because
I think he just did it at the bench, just as something to do. I can't remember if that was one that he got gifted from somebody.
An AR-50. Cool, that would be something to build.
Yeah, Aoshima do quite a lot of the what I would call sort of the. Well, I'm sort of from the 80s, 70s, and 80s bikes were kind of what I grew up with. And in the 90s, I kind of got married, and I was more interested in girls, and you weren't allowed motorbikes, and yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I have got down there. A 1/9 scale Honda RC 211V.
Is that Italieri or
Revel?
Oh, it'll be a Prota reboxing probably if it's 1/9.
Revel, and it's yellow plastic.
Yeah, it'll be a reboxing, mate.
So I got that last year at Telford.
Sarge is saying at 13 I had a Bultaco 490. I remember him. Big single cylinder thumper, 2-stroke. Lived in the mountains at the time, no police in the area. I loved it. And Spidey says he'll stick a picture of the box of the AR-50 up in the dungeon and on your group, Mark.
Oh, right, thanks. Yeah, that'd be great.
In the waiting room.
Right, let's have a look here. What have we got going on? So let's put this on here, and it.
I'm trying to remember the MiG-21. Is that the one with the single wee pointy nose cone thing?
There's the nose cone.
Trying to mind, is it? Hold on, I think there's a picture of one on my kit. Is it? Oh no, that's a SU7. But it looks like, I always imagine that is a MiG, that kind of shape of one. Can you see it? The one with the pointy.
No, it's not like that.
No.
No, I know what you mean, though. Yeah, that's more like the earlier MiGs.
Aye. I built one of them in 1/72 when I was a young lad.
That looks tapered on that, but it. Yeah, I suppose it is tape. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Where's the little sanding thingamajig? one will do. Doodly-doo.
Yeah, that's when Colin goes live. He's got a tendency to turn his Facebook off because it just goes ping, 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 and
Yeah, I do. If it becomes a nuisance, then I turn it off. The problem is, I used to turn the sound off for the notifications.
yeah, I've had to mute a few.
I always forget to turn it back on. And then I end up in trouble for not replying to important notifications of certain people.
Ronald's got an interesting question. Terry, have you ever tried putting UV resin on bikes' gauges on the decals, obviously, to give them the plastic? I don't. I tend to just use a little bit of clear. But yeah, the UV resin that you just put it on, and I've not got any of that stuff. Or yeah,
Right, that's going to be all steel. This is going to be bright green.
is this you working out all your colours?
Yeah, this is what I don't like about painting. The knowing when to paint, basically.
I'm at that stage, trying to figure out what bits I need to paint before assembly. Yeah.
So like these two pieces and this are all steel, so they can be glued together and painted because they're all steel. I can even put these little silver ones on because I could manage to hand brush them.
We're all talking about bikes.
That's dark iron though, so that's got to be done separately.
What bit's that?
This goes on the
Oh, it's a ring. All right. Yeah.
I'm just trying to see them. Yeah, there's 3, 1.
Yeah, Ronald, I get what you're saying there about obviously putting the putting the resin on. It gives you a gloss-like finish, like real glass. Yeah, on speedo dials and that. I don't have any of that stuff, and I've never tried it. But yeah, I just generally put a little bit of clear lacquer or something on my decals of my speedos and that on the bikes, just to give it a bit of a shine, like because most of the bikes is just plastic, a thin clear plastic layer on top of the speedos.
Yeah, I think it's too easy just to you get your clear, and just put a drop of it in, or PVA or whatever you're using, whatever your clear of choice is, and put it to one side. And when you come back, you've got that nice glass bubble, ain't you?
The only thing I didn't like when I'm doing it is obviously with the capillary action round the circle of the edge, you tend to find it gets thicker at the edges and thinner in the middle. I wonder if that UV stuff would give you a more even. As soon as you get it to the level that you want, you hit it with the UV light, and that's it set. It'd be quite interesting to try.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to ask next time I'm at the dentist. He uses that stuff.
But it's no UV clear resin, though, is it? It's
yeah, that's what he puts on your teeth. If you've got a sensitive tooth, he mixes up this clear resin. He pastes it on your tooth, brushes it on your tooth. It blocks all the pain, the holes in your teeth, and then he hits it with a UV light.
See, my brother got his teeth coated when he was at high school with stuff. It wasn't about when I got mine done. That's why my teeth are all fucked, and his is all still quite good. But they used to coat kids' as teeth.
I think it might be. I don't know how new it is. I've only come across it recently. But yeah, he definitely used it before because I spoke to him about it.
I know the white filling that they use. They put that UV light in to cure that. So it must be pretty hard wearing resin though, if you think about it, if it's in your mouth.
Yeah. And I know it's clear. How I know it's clear is because when he done it, I came outside and one of them fell off.
Almost like a veneer then. Oh, right, okay.
I could feel it I could feel it on my tooth. It had come away, and I just picked it up out of my mouth, and it's like a little
just like a veneer. It mustn't have bonded properly.
Like a little clear bit of plastic that had stuck to the tooth. Endless possibilities.
Nigel's in. He's going, wow, Terry is sober. Yeah.
No, you're not going to live that down.
I hadn't realised when I went live with Colin and John that I'd got quite so far through the bottle till I watched it back and thought, fucking hell, I was pissed. Yeah. As I say, if we hadn't managed to get Frankie Day on to show us some of his lovely work, I would have pulled the video because I just looked a total arse. But there you go.
I really enjoyed. I've only really watched the first sort of 15-20 minutes because I had to go out.
I know I like a drink, but I don't like to see people to see me that drunk.
But it's just a bit of fun, and it's not hurting anyone.
It was like 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when we went live, and I cracked the bottle open about, oh Christ, about 7 o'clock in the evening.
It just portrays you as human, really. We've all done it. I've done it more than once. Yeah,
but when you watch it back, you can actually. It reminds me of my mum. I'm not an alcoholic by any means, but I do tend to binge when I have a drink. And Colin always laughs. He says, "All right, Terry's had a drink the night. We'll not see him for a day." And he was right because I spent a day in my bed recovering. But yeah, unfortunately, my mum had alcohol problems, and I could see her slurring her speech and that, and it kind of embarrasses me when I get to that stage. But we were having fun, I suppose. But yeah, I don't like seeing myself like that.
Yeah, I can get that. I can understand that. I mean, to be honest, I don't watch. Very rare I watch videos back with me in them because I just don't like to. It's one of those things I don't like to hear myself talking or anything like that.
Colin says that when he films his video, he edits it and uploads it, and that's it. He doesn't watch it again because he doesn't like to watch himself.
Yeah, the only time I'll go back and watch something is if there's an issue of some kind. Somebody's complaining about something or
pointing out a wee error or something. Yeah,
and then I'll go back and watch it. But even when there's nothing. Even when there's nothing wrong with the way I'm doing it, I cringe when I'm talking, and I think, oh, you're saying this too much.
It was funny when you were on our show and you had your bottle of wine and you had that leg off your lunar lander. That was hilarious. We were all giggling away.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware that anyone was watching that.
Yeah, Nigel, I just don't like seeing myself like that. I mean, I know I wasn't offensive or anything because Colin keeps me in check. He's like, Terry. But, yeah, I was a bit pissed. My speech gets a bit slow and slurred, and yeah, I watched it back and I was cringing. Although some of it I did laugh at myself because it was like, yeah.
Yeah. Angela laughed at the whole "we are humans." Earthlings or something.
Oh, great. I can't even mind half of the stuff I said.
No, I can't. There was just a whole catalogue of great material.
It's not the first time I've appeared on YouTube drunk, so it's like, yeah. But I try to avoid it. So that's me off the drink till Christmas to give my liver a chance to recover. That's what he's saying now. It'll come to Saturday and it'll be like, I'll get nervous and I'll get a couple of cans of beer or something,
Well, it's only, it's everybody's the same. It's I used to drink a lot. Many years ago, I would drink a lot. I'm just going to say I used to drink a lot.
Right, okay, that's fair. You didn't have to go into
that. I had my motorbike accident. No, it was after the incident when I was involved with the nightclub and my leg. So the more recent one. Mm-hmm. And I was in a hospital for, I don't know, it was about 16, 17 months.
I know Colin was on a long time for some of his ops, yeah.
And then when I came out, I would. One of the first things I've done was go to get a drink, and I bought a can of lager or something, and it was disgusting. I couldn't stand the taste of it, and I went through a few drinks, and I did not like any of them. And I'm gonna say, Andrew will probably back me up on this. About 12 years, I was completely teetotal. And the only thing I can think is, they say you dry out when you haven't had a drink for a long time. That must have happened. I must have just got it out my system in hospital, and I just weren't interested in it anymore.
See, I think it's a genetic thing. I mean, firstly, I'm Scottish, right?
Yeah.
My whole family like a drink, and it's a social thing. It's not so good to be drinking alone in the house on your own, but when I'm sitting goofing off with the guys in the live hangout, I don't feel alone. I'm sitting goofing off with my pals like I'm doing the pub, and I'll have a couple of beers or whatever. But I can take it or leave it for long periods. But sometimes you just get a day where it's like, you know what, I could fancy a wee drink today.
Yeah.
And it's like the old story. I remember when I was doing my YTS and you were getting £25 a week and you're working in the garage and the guys all want to go to the pub on a Friday, to wash the brake dust down.
Yeah.
And you've got a fiver in your pocket and the beer monster comes out and your first pint just slips down. It's like, oh, I could go a session, but you've not got the money. And then another night you'll go, you've got plenty of money in your pocket and you have your first pint, it's like, can't be arsed.
Yeah.
I get phases like that, but I can get greedy with it. And to drink a whole bottle of vodka is quite a lot. And I mean, a doctor would go, oh, James, you're going to kill yourself. But I mean, I'm a big chap, but it's not a good thing to do. So don't do it at home, children. Don't be like the Smooth. But yeah, if I'm sitting I'm sitting comfortable chat and I'm having a laugh and all that, which is what we did before we went onto the insomnia thing. I think we were just hanging out, were we not? I'm trying to remember now.
Yeah. I think that's it. You just become comfortable.
And I was just sitting away. I was doing my model and everything, just sipping away about 7 o'clock. But before I knew it, the bottle had went. It's like, and then you're sitting going like, "Well, yes, I love you, I love everybody," and all that.
That Russian standard vodka, it goes down so nice.
But it's stronger than Smirnoff. Smirnoff's 37.5 and Russian Standard's 38.
And you don't really, it's got a beautiful taste to it. I mean, I love the Russian Standard stuff.
That was the good old days in the 80s, Terry. Yeah, YTS, £25 a week.
Yeah. Yep. YTS, Christ, I remember that, yeah. Youth training.
There was one time, I think I was only in the second year of my apprenticeship, so I would only be about 18. And my journeyman, he was built like a British shithouse. He was a wee fella. He was a black belt, third dan or something at Taekwondo, and he used to train people. I was an instructor down at Meadowbank and all that. So he was going on a foreign holiday with his wife somewhere like Spain or something on the Saturday morning. So it got to Friday lunchtime, and we'd planned to get a half day. So there was a pub just right up for the garage. I worked at Mercedes in Colleton, so it was the centre court. I actually got banned for it at one point, but yeah. So I went up at lunchtime, and then he says, "Right, you want to hit the tune?" Because there's a bit of the tune called the Hairy Triangle that some gentlemen might know about, where it used to be go-go dancers, but now it's all pole dancers and stuff like that.
The Hairy Triangle.
We stopped off in a pub on the way there, and at the time I was drinking dark rum. He says, "Right, what are you on?" I says, "Well, I'm a bit bagged up with the pints. I'll have a dark rum and coke." So he says, "Right, dark rum and coke." Unbeknown to me, it was Pusser's Navy Strength rum, and it was quarter gills. So I had a couple of them, and so we ended up not going any further than that pub. But yes, me and my journeyman were up rather late. I got 10 bells of shit kicked out of me by his missus for making him late for the flight and that for their holiday. I was 18-year-old. He's a grown man. How is it my fault? Wow. People seem to think that if you're out for a drink with Smoothie, leads you astray. I don't know why. Oh dear. Rob says he likes Jack Daniels and Coke.
Yeah, I used to drink Jack Daniels. Not so much now.
There was a fun thing that I did when I was back on ISM, when I first sort of got invited into the hangout thing. They used to do this thing where it was like you get a really cheap kit to build, right? but it was a drinking game was involved with it as well. And I hadn't really done drinking games. I always dilute my vodka or whatever with Coke or orange or whatever. And it says, you've got to get a bottle and there's no mixers and you've got to take a shot every, they would set timers and stuff like that or whatever. So there'd be a random timers goes off and you've got to take a shot. I decided my bottle of choice would be Jack Daniels and I was blutered. I've still got a model kit there and I haven't finished it. But they were all I was misbehaving. I mean, I was doing things like, I mean, taking bottles of X20, the tops were on and putting them in my mouth and going, and they thought I was actually drinking it. So, yeah. I don't get violent when I'm drunk, though. I get dead happy and dead daft, and then I get dead sleepy.
And then dead ill.
I never used to get ill, but yeah, as you get older, you can't process it the same. Oh, there's a new name, man. Richard Bushnell? Bushnell?
Oh, yeah, that's... hi, Richard. That is my... so, be like nephew.
Oh, right, we better behave then.
I think I've got that right. He's my wife's, so Angela's sister's son.
Just stays up the road for Bob with the dog.
The what?
Stays up the road for Bob with the dog. Round Farlick with the transit van. No, never mind. Lost that one.
No, don't get that.
Yeah, that's all right. It's just a daft thing. Yeah.
This is another thing I hate about this whole cocktail sticks and...
Oh, I like doing that. Put them on the skewers and all that. Right, I've got some painting to do.
Right, that's this is going to be green.
Ping, ping, ping. Right, where's the stuff I was using? Didn't realise that was lacquers when I got it. The Mr. Metal colour, you can buff it up seemingly.
Can you?
Yeah, but it's a lacquer.
I don't think I've ever tried that with Mr.
Because it was just engine parts, I thought I would just brush paint them, but I don't think I've got a deep enough coat of it or a well enough mixed coat of it applied by brush to allow me to buff it up. And if it doesn't work, I will reprime it and just use the ooshies. Oh. To get the effect that one. Oh, these are nice, by the way. These marzipan kartoffel that I got off there. Nom. Alright.
Right.
Get all these out of the way. The only thing with brush paint lacquers is they kill your brushes. So these wee perfect starter kits you get.
All right.
I keep the wee Humbrol brushes out of that and use them in the lacquers.
I don't know, I've got a load of brushes that I just...
Spidey was saying that comment I made, you need to be around a few Scots to process that one. Yeah, okay. And Mark's going, never a good idea going live shit-faced. Yeah, I thought it was a good idea at the time, Mark, but they seemed to think it was quite funny, but I watched it back and was horrified.
I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen it, you want to go and see it before
No.
take it down.
I was thinking about taking it down. If it wasn't for Frankie Day coming on and showing all his lovely stuff, I would have taken it down because I was really embarrassed when I watched it back. Right, painting times. Well, looks as if you're fairly fettling away there, John.
Yeah.
that's the wrong one. That's the one. There we go.
Oh shit.
Have you just super glued your fingers?
No, I've just there was a the top of the super glue was blocked. I've pushed a pin in it, and all the pressures suddenly spurted it out.
So you've got super glue in your fingers?
It's gone all over the back of my hands.
Oh dear. That's not good.
So all I can do is
wash it under a tap or something.
I've got some nail varnish remover there.
Oh, acetone, yeah.
All over the bloody knife handle.
What would you do, John, if you got covered in super glue on your hands? Wash it off? Soap and water?
If it's just on your hands and stuff, yeah, because if you wash your hands with soap and water, 9 times out of 10 it just goes hard and peels off.
Yeah. Spidey's going, I doubt I could find a button to go live if I was drunk. The thing is, if we go live that often, it's just a matter of, right, the templates are already set up, click, oh shit, smooth shit face. It's like, oh, no. But there is bad for encouragement, John, and that. Shocking, because they just know I'm going to be silly. And then next day I'm mega embarrassed. Spidey's saying he's posted a picture up of the AR-50, so I'm sure Mark will have a wee look at that once he's finished unsupergluing himself. That's handy having a missus in the house that does nail varnish and all that then, because you'll have a big bottle of acetone there. The only thing acetone-wise I would have would be the Tamiya extra thin or something. But I haven't yet tried that to see if it would unbond the...
Oh yeah, it works really good on
extra. So if you would stick yourself, just get some extra because it's acetone based and just... Yeah.
This is... yeah, it's coming off easily, in fact.
I had some... Oh, what the hell do you call it? Zap extra thin stuff. And I'd actually just opened the bottle and it capillary actioned all the way along my hands and hadn't noticed, and just about stuck all my hands together. So that's good stuff to work with. It's a bit scary. Colin likes working with super glue. He has us well warned. He says, I'm about to use super glue. Please don't distract me. Otherwise, he tends to stick things to his face. What's Paul saying? The posh boys all had those down here. I've seen the picture. Right, where's the brush? Oh, there it is. So let's get some more of this stuff on. A bit of self-leveling in it. That seems to work. It's because they're small parts. I'm just got brush paint them in. Brush painting and lacquers is always fun. Although when I was speaking to Colin, he used to do obviously custom trikes and everything. And when they do the pinstriping, it's all done with a really long brush, but it's lacquers that they use, eh?
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
Sorry, I'm just going to go and wash my hands quickly.
I think that's a good idea, mate. But it's kind of like, you just get so quick at it. I love watching people doing pinstriping. Just make it look so easy.
I've got a couple of pinstripe brushes knocking about somewhere.
See, even when Colin's doing these little figurines, and there's something like, say, a waistband or a belt or something to do, I would be there for ages with a tiny, tiny little brush. Yeah. But he does it in one stroke.
Yeah.
It's quite an art.
Yeah, I've got some pinstriping paintbrushes and I've got some signwriting paintbrushes and stuff from when I used to do that as well.
Oh, so you're good at that sort of stuff, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got a steady enough hand for that sort of thing. It's the only thing that's about this being a lacquer, it stinks. Oh, Vamp's done. How you doing, Vampet? He's a little bit late. Been feeding me new wee little bat friend. You got a bat? As a pet? Interesting. Pet bat. Muse is giving it Pet the Bat for me, or is that a code name for something? You know what those two are like. Pet your bat. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it could be perfectly innocent, but no one using that. Nah. So while Mark's away washing his hands, what's everybody else up to in the chat? So the disaster averted, Mark, is it?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, fortunately, the nail polish remover has seeped under the super glue, and that, and a combination of that and the warm water has got most of it just sort of flaking away now. So yeah,
good
that'll come
stuff.
off over time. Yeah, it's this. I don't know what it is about this. So basically, it's a Bob Smith's bottle. It's always kept upright, and then what happens is this end blocks up. So I normally, without shaking it up or anything like that, I normally stick a pin in the end. But for some reason, it's like there's some sort of vacuum in there, and when you release the pressure, a load of super glue shoots, spurts out.
Do you keep it in a fridge?
No, I don't keep it in a fridge. No.
Okay.
It's not the first time that's happened, but I used to use a shorter pin. So tonight I used a longer pin because I thought, yeah, I'm wary to that now. Well, tonight it's gone even further.
Yeah, it's a capillary action on the pin or something that just draws it up, and the warmth of the room.
Yeah, I think it must be. I think when the pin goes down and into the, yeah, I don't know.
The warmth of the room maybe puts a tiny little pressure on the bottle, and then when you pierce it, it goes.
It's a bit like when you draw the needle out, a bit like a syringe. I think you're.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I was asking what everybody was up to, and Sarge says about 6'2".
Huh.
Ready then. It's a short arse then, is what he's saying.
Number 10 I need. I don't know whether these... that's number 25. That's not...
Excuse me coughing, but this lacquer stuff catches your throat a bit.
That doesn't belong to that. Where's me box of blades? Here we go.
Still at the assembly stages of your Sherman, John, or are you near the painting stages, or?
I've just got all the lower hull together. I'm working on the upper hull at the minute.
God, that's a mouthful, said the actress to the bishop. Excuse me. Sorry for deafening everybody. It's just it's lacquer paint, so it's a bit whiffy. I do have a window open, but yeah. I just smell something. I think I must have. Oh. Vamp's winding up Sarge.
Is he?
He's found a South African dealer that has a A1 M2 something Abrams tanker I want. And Spidey's saying that glue going all over you, it's caterpillar reaction.
Caterpillar, yeah.
Spidey's got to bail. Catch you later, mate.
Yeah, see you later, Spidey. Is it Spidey? It's Spiddick, isn't it?
I call him Spidey. Some people call him Spidey. He lives on the Isle of Skye. He's a Scotsman. Well, kind of with an English voice, but yeah. Oh, isn't that cool, that pattern? How that stuff and the Mr. Colour self-leveling thinner. It's like one of those kaleidoscope things you used to get as a kid.
Yeah, I remember getting one of them for Christmas one year.
You
Played
might
it
not-
for about, I don't know, 20 seconds, and it was like, yeah, all right, what's next?
The thing is, Lego and that, you could have hours of fun with Lego.
Oh, you know, I went in the Lego store today in Milton Keynes. They've got a Lego store now, and the price of Lego, man,
But since I can't remember who we were talking to, if it was
they've lost their
patent is expired or something.
yeah. So this is what I was getting to. So the thing is, I bought an X-wing from China, and it's identical in every way to the Lego X-wing. The only
Is it called
difference,
an X-Wingo?
the only thing is, it doesn't have Lego written on every single stud. It doesn't have Lego written anywhere on it, but that's the only difference. And I think I paid £23 for it. That was posted from China.
Oh, it's crazy, yeah.
The Lego one was, I think, is about 60, 70 quid. Now, just before Christmas, they were doing, again from China, the big Millennium Falcon that
Lego one.
that Lego do. That charge they charge 680 quid for it in the Lego store, the Millennium Falcon. And I could have got it a few weeks back on the Black Friday sale week before. It was £85. But yeah, that would have been a real good buy.
Remember the first Lego set I got when my dad was still alive? I opened it and went, "Oh, I've got Lego." He went, "Let me have a look at that, son." I never got near it all day. He was busy building stuff.
Yeah. We've got some Connects in the cupboard.
Brother-in-law used to have these Technics kits. Some of them are really, really cool. All the working engines and all that.
Yeah, I've got a crane, and it's got I had to build a gearbox for it. A fully working gearbox out of Lego. Brilliant. It cost me, I think it cost me 100 quid when I bought it. It's now no longer in production, and every year it goes up in price. The last I checked, it was hovering around £160.
Yeah.
They're an investment, Lego.
Well, the one the brother-in-law had when I used to go up, it was a digger. It had all the different rams and all the gearboxes and four-wheel drive and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he used to strip it down for me so I could build it while I was up visiting. But I don't know if you do this with Lego. I mean, some people, nowadays it cheats. They just sort of use bag one and now move on to bag two. The fun part of Lego with me was separating them all into 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours and all that. Sort all your stuff out and then start building it.
Well, yeah, I've got, I buy, when I'm doing Lego, I have these little.
Oh, yeah.
And normally got 3 or 4 of them for a Lego Technics build. And I'll split the parts up as best I can, the smaller ones.
It's a bit like what the Gunpla builders do with all their arms, legs, feet and all that, yeah. Yeah, I've got lots of the boxes, but they've all got fuses and...
Yeah, that one's got now. That's the start of my electronics.
When I used to do the auto electrician stuff, so there's different fuses and different diodes and, yeah.
Yeah, there's not much in there at the moment, but it's getting there. I've got some more electronic bits on order, switches, 9-volt jack plugs, female and male.
Yeah.
I can't remember now.
It takes time to build it up. You just start off a starter kit and just keep adding stuff as you find out what.
Yeah, loads of... I've got 2 packs of 10 pre-wired white LEDs.
Yeah, that's what Colin gets, because you can just dip them to any colour you want.
Yeah, I didn't see the point in buying them all coloured, the different colours.
Yeah.
When I've got all the clears up there, I can just dip them and...
Yeah, that's what Colin does. He buys the white ones because they're the most intense bulb, and he goes, right, I need an orange one, and he just literally solders his wires on and dips it in the orange clear. That's all you have to do. Sorry for the rattling, I'm just trying to get the worst of the shit off this brush. Oh, that'll do till next time, and when it fucks up, I'll throw it away. That brush isn't looking very well at all.
Need to get that flat.
I can see me redoing this primer and doing it with the issues up.
I started the build today on the 3D printer. That was really going to enjoy that.
I watched the unboxing. Some of it already came pre-assembled. Get my teeth in pre-assembled because it was a refurb.
Well, I'm told that that's how they send that kit out.
All right.
Now, they didn't. But the thing is, I've been following, although I've only just started with my 3D printer, I've been following it very closely. I've been watching all the videos on YouTube, people buying them, and I know that there's been several issues that keep coming up in people's reviews.
Oh, it's a lot of money to spend without doing your research. See what I did there?
Yeah. And one of those is the fact that there's no instructions comes with it. They're on the instructions come on a little CD-ROM thing.
All right, yeah.
Sorry, not a CD-ROM, a memory card.
All right, yeah.
And the build-up to the plate can be awkward and complex. And if you get it wrong, it can cause you a lot of problems. And I think what they've done is they've done the hard bit out the way.
All the linear planes and all that, get them all level and
but I looked at it and I don't think there would be, it looks like fairly simple how it bolts together. There must be something that's a bit fiddly in there. But I mean, I noticed when I was pulling it out of the box, there's a couple of bits in there that are not in good condition. So I'm hoping that they've not just sent a faulty one back out.
I've got a biker mate that he's built his own 3D printer up, and what he does is, like, when one thing burns out, like the extruder, he'll upgrade it to the latest version that's available. So once you've actually got the main thing, you can keep
and that's a really cool thing. Yeah, you can, and you can print your own bits off.
Robbie's heading off. He's got to bail. Have a great night.
All right, Rob.
And Paul is asking you, Mark, what do you hope to do with your printer?
Who's that?
Paul Chapman is asking what you're wanting to do with your actual printer.
Oh man, I've got so many different plans that I want to do. So I mean, I covered it at the end of the video today. I'm going to be covering a wide range of topics. I want to look at the possibility of making spare parts. If you lose a part to your build, is it going to be fairly straightforward to make a new one? Making my own other, extras. So, if you're building a kit and you think, a little handle will look good there, or an aerial or something like that,
Put in sort of like the wee vignettes that you can download for like putting wee figures on in that.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm looking at. One of the ones that I'm looking forward to the most is figures. Am I going to be able to print off some decent figures that I can paint? Because I like figures. Figures is one of my favourite subjects.
See, I was talking to Colin about it. Colin's got one. He's got to build it up, but he's familiar with all the 3D.
Yeah.
He could actually compile a 3D image of his own from scratch and send the printer in whatever files it is that they use. So he's really clever with all that. But what I've noticed for a lot of people with their printers when they're doing figures, all the lines. Now, some people seem to get less lines than others, and it's all to do about the way you set your printer up. And then there's the guys that use the UV, that clear UV resin that we're talking about, that is expensive ones where it comes out beautiful.
Yeah, there's so many different things to take into account there. You eat down to your plastic you use. You've got, as long as you get a good quality plastic.
Now, am I right that this pla plate is actually vegetable based, and it's not like styrene. It's made out of vegetable pla. Am I right on that or not?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that one. The only thing I know that's vegetable based is vodka.
Potatoes, yes.
Yes. And I've decided that as it's vegetable based, I am not drinking vodka, I am drinking a salad.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm drinking a salad, and my salad thinner.
Salad thinner. You have to have thinners for your salad.
Yeah, my salad thinner is cream soda or lemonade.
Mark in the chat says polylactic acid, PLA. So what's polylactic acid? Oh, right, okay.
Oh, PLA. That's so.
Yeah, Mark, the guy Mark, another Mark in chat, he's going polylactic acid.
So I should be able to show you PLA, because if this is a timely thing that this is something that arrived today.
I've
and
seen
it should be
the big rolls or something.
It should be a roll of PLA.
What I'm interested in, I know it's polylactic acid, but what is polylactic acid? Is it derived from vegetables, or is it petroleum based? Or That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, it comes on a big roll.
Oh, cool. And that's about 20 quid or something, is it?
I got this one for, I think I paid $8.99. And I went for a fluorescent colour, as you can see.
Yeah, Martin chat's saying lines are dependent on line thickness. Obviously, how thick you print your layers up. Best option is not 0.1. Obviously, it's going to take longer to print, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm told that the printer I've got is a good one. It wasn't my initial choice, believe it or not. I spent over 6 months deciding on that printer.
It's a lot of money, and by that time the technology changes whilst you're looking at them, innit? So
yeah. And the thing was, that did happen on a couple of occasions where I decided I'm not going to have that printer, and then I left it a while and the technology changed and the next printer was much better. There was one printer I ruled out because of the power supply. There were rumors of it catching fire, and
right.
You don't want that.
Chinese, I take it then, are they?
A lot of them are, yeah. A lot of them come from China. Even this is Creality Ender 3. It's considered a good one. It's got a safety rating and everything on it. But it does come from China. But it comes from the people that actually make Creality. Creality, I think it's pronounced. They actually make the Enders.
So that's the thing. You get a lot of products across now for China that all boast CE certification and all that, but they're not.
No. This one's genuine though. I'm pretty sure you can track the CE number on it.
There's a guy I watch on YouTube called Big Clive, and he strips down a lot of these Poundland like lights and chargers and that, and finds out the way the Chinese actually wire them up, and it's like, my God, that's a bit dodgy.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I'd like to watch that.
Mark in chat says rolls usually come in 1 kilogram rolls. It's a plant-based material. That's what I'd heard. Yeah. And he's asking...
1 kilo, that is.
He's asking, is it the Anet A8 that was catching fire, Mark?
I think it was one of the Anet's ones, the Anet ones. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was, I think it's that, that one that came out initially that flooded the market.
I know nothing about them. Yeah.
It flooded the market, and there were a lot of them overheating. The power supplies were really naff on them, apparently.
I can remember when Chris the Gross Models got his, one of the first things programs that you actually got with his 3D printer was to print a shroud to add the fan onto the head.
Yeah, no, this comes with the fans on this. Let me just show you if it'll reach.
And I'm saying you can swap the power supply out with a normal 400 watt.
You can swap the power supplies.
It's all 5, 3 and 12 volt rails, mate. Yeah. So.
No, the extruder might just reach. Can you see?
Oh, there you are. Aye, there's the extruder thingy.
Let me put the...
There's a fan on there. Yeah.
Hold on a sec. Lost my arrow again. I'm working on 2 screens. There you go. So yeah, now one of these fans is the fan for the extruder. This is your extruder, the nozzle here. And that's the fan for that.
Looks as if it goes through some sort of inductor to heat it up. Yeah. And
this is a product fan. I don't know what that means yet. I haven't figured that out, but it's called a product fan.
That probably cools. There's one that'll. Aye.
I don't understand.
But one that blows down on the plough, because obviously once you've got the plough out, if you keep it too hot, it's just going to go. Brrr. So I think there's one ducted down to cool it after it's come out the nozzle, and the other one cools the nozzle.
Yeah, it could be that one there does have a flat board behind it, and it leads to a channel that comes out here like a Hoover sort of.
Just to cool down the plastic.
It would be blowing roughly across.
Where it's printed. Mark in chat, because not getting it muddled up by Sprue Surgery. There was a 20 amp power supply on that one that caught fire and it needed to be upgraded to 30 amp. Vamp's saying there's a plethora of free parts prints that makes it Ender 3 beasts of printers. And he's saying swap that fan, my laptop fan. I mean, you're going into stuff that you're just trying stuff out, really, aren't you? But I mean, if it comes like that, you should be able to use it, I would have thought.
Well, yeah, I mean, my whole argument is, yeah, if you're being sold something, you shouldn't really have to be... it shouldn't be a risk to your life.
Yeah.
I
don't think if I bought one for China on its first few prints and it was an 8-hour print that I would leave it unattended.
No. And I'll tell you what, even though I've got, even though I've gone with the safe one, and I know that it's got proper certification with it, I wouldn't leave it alone.
Yeah,
I wouldn't leave it alone to print because I think you would be reckless to do that.
Yeah, go to your bed and leave it for an 8-hour print and then...
Yeah, and then wonder why the fireman wakes you up.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Your house is on fire, mate. Fucking hell, did you save the print?
Vamp's going, what type of power is in your power outlets? In the UK, it's 240 volts AC, or 220 to 240 volts. But actually, if you want to go really technical on it, that's the mean average. If you go to the top of the sine wave on an oscilloscope, it's 330 volts we use in the UK. Anyway, it's 240. Somebody asked me something earlier on. Mark, smoking at Mark Scale Models. There's a lot of Marks.
They're popular.
Can I ask you what the soldering iron and electronic testing gadgets you're using? It's a generic cheapest chips soldering station that's temperature controlled. It's a 937D as the box. I don't know if I can... I was still focused on Mark here.
Sorry.
It's just I can let who was it I asked? Mark Scale Models, right? I'll try and not make you dizzy. But right, let's see if I can get this to it.
Vamp says, okay, swap that power supply for a PC power supply then.
Yeah.
All you need is 5 to 12 volt.
It's 5 and 12 volts and 3.3 for some of the chips, yeah. Yeah, we're £3 UK, 240 volts. Right, that's my soldering station, Mark Scale Models. Just got WEP, it's a generic one, 937D, and I can set my temperatures on it.
I like that bit of kit next to it.
That on my DC power supply. Yeah, good thing about that is you can set the voltage and the milliamps and stuff when you want to test stuff out.
I do like that.
That other little gadget, I mean, I've got a resistor in it just now. Hold on, I'll try and get it so the light's not shining. So
yeah, I saw...
You can read resistors with the colour bands, easy enough to tell you what they are, or you can use a multimeter or this little gadget. I'll just do that, and it'll go, it boots up. It tells me, I mean, I can do it with capacitors and all sorts of things. It tells me it's 5536 ohms, so that's what? Just try to think now, 550 ohms, thereabouts, 560 ohm resistor. So I've got loads of wee gadgets. I'm like Colin. Colin likes his gadgets, I know.
Yeah, I do as well. And I tell you what, I saw that exact device for sale the other day, and can I bugger find it again?
Colin got one and his wasn't working. It wouldn't boot up, so he's had to ask for another one. What's Vamp saying? Modular PSU? Yeah, Vamp, you're talking about, having to use something like a PC power supply to power something up. Yeah, you can jerry rig stuff, but I mean, there are proper supplies. I know you had to make your own compressor out of like 2 pairs of socks and an elastic band. But yeah, a lot of people make their own, like that DC power supply that I've got. A lot of people make them out of computer PSUs because it gives you a 12 volt rail, a 5 volt rail, and a 3 volt rail. That soldering station I got, Mark, was about £50-ish. Power supply unit was about 60. That wee gadget was about 12 quid. I mean, it's...
Lidl were selling a soldering station. I've got one, which is temperature adjustable. You can adjust it anything from 180 to 400 and some degrees.
Mind what mine goes up to. It goes a silly amount.
Yeah, and that's I believe that's 14 quid.
Mine goes for 200 up to 480, but I typically sold around about 240 if I'm doing LEDs, because 260 is when you start cooking them.
So if you're after one on the cheap, keep an eye out at Lidl.
The other thing you've got to watch when you're buying a soldering station, make sure it's ESD safe. Some of the ways they wire these up induces an electrical current at the top, and if you're soldering ICs or anything, you can fry them. This is totally isolated. It's just a thermal coupling that's in it and all that sort of thing. So there's no voltage at the tip. If you don't have a totally isolated one, and yeah, you can blow things up. Well, I got another wee handy wee tool, but it was about 7 quid. That's a wee pink thing. It's a leg bender for your resistors.
All right.
You just take your, hold on, where's the one I've got clamped in there? So you would take your straight resistor and you would put it in there, right? And then you just go, and it bends it to the right size for the PCBs.
All right.
That's
cool.
You know, if you're making printed circuit boards, so it's got different slots. Other thing that I
could probably print that.
Yes, you probably could, because that was about 7 quid, believe it or not. There's another handy wee tool when you get into doing. I'm just trying to find it now.
And I'm willing to take orders on my printing as well, and I'll print at cost.
Here's another handy little tool. When you start doing IC chips and you're wanting to put them into the board, an IC, when it comes, the legs are kind of splayed out.
Yeah.
All you do is you put them in there and you go like that, and then it'll slot straight into the. It's another gadget. I'm just gadget daft. I mean, what have I got in here? Is that 555 chip or something? Oh, probably.
1, 2, 3.
That's stuck to the tape.
I've been looking at this single piece for God knows how long.
I do that. You start. There we go. There's a B55. Look.
I'm trying to work out. No, they're not meant to be in there, so out they come.
So there's a B555 timer chip with 8 legs on it, 8-pin dip. Set it on there and give it a couple of squeezes like that, and that's my pins ready to go into the sockets or onto a board. Yeah, it's just, I'm a gadget geek. I mean, I've got a snap-on roll cab behind me here with loads of. I was a mechanic, so I've got, you know, fancy snap-on spanners and that. I just like tools.
I love gadgets and tools, and
I mean, here's Vamp saying the wiring colours on the. If you go into a PC power supply unit, it tells you what's the 3 and 5 volt feeds and all that. Yeah, there's a lot of people make up DC power supplies from PC.
Yeah, they're all labelled inside. There's nothing difficult. PC power supplies. There's nothing difficult about building a PC. Some people look at it like it's rich, but it's not.
Obviously, the good thing for the hobby.
You're careful building a PC. As long as you follow certain procedures and you don't allow static or anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got my big
everything goes together.
I've got my big soldering mat, and I've got the wristband and all that sort of crap. But I mean, Yeah. When I worked in the electronics, you used to have heel straps and wrist straps. So if you were assembling components in a workstation,
Yeah.
you actually had to go to a machine and you had to press a button to check that you were grounded in the SD testing machine and sign a logbook. If you're placing thousands of little ICs into boards all day long and you're not grounded and you short them out and they're all fucked, it costs them a lot of money.
When I first started tinkering with computers, all I used to do was grab hold of a radiator before I went in, and that was the extent of it.
What quite a lot of people do is they take a 3-pin earth plug and just put an earth wire in it, and then that's the only wire coming out the plug is the earth wire.
Yeah.
And then they have that attached to their mat or their wrist strap or.
Yeah, and then of course I got a proper wrist strap as I advanced in it.
I was always worried about the earth using a wire direct to earth though, because if someone was to trip out in the house, you might get a wee bit of a.
Long time ago when computers I'm okay with. I can put computers together, components and that. I've not got a problem with that.
Oh, I build on my own PCs and that, but see, like the software environments and that, I get a bit lost, and that's where Colin's fucking really clued up because he used to do a load of IT support. He can go into programs, go, you can do this and that. Oh, I didn't think you could do that. But no, you do that, and you can do that. But I can build the things and get them running and play games on them, but I can't. I was never taught at school computers, how to do Word and
No, they were just coming in when, as I was leaving, computers were just starting to be the next big thing that you were going to learn about.
Yeah, BBC Micro Model Bs or whatever.
They were just having computer suites added to the secondary school I was at in my last year. So we never, ever got to really go on them.
Yeah. I mean, Colin's done a lot of IT support and network support and all that sort of thing, and he's really clued up on it. And it's like, oh, wow. But yeah, it's as far as computers go, I'm self-taught. I can build one, I can put it together, I can configure it, I can kind of use the programs that's on it, but I'm still learning to use. See, even like my video editing software, there's a lot of features on it that I don't know how to use yet. And I'll see something, I'll go to Colin, oh, that looks a cool feature. That must be hard to do. He'll go, no, actually, that's quite simple. You just do this, that, and that. And I'm like, oh. So he's a clever chappy.
Yeah, it's all about practicing, and which is what I've got to do with the software for the 3D printer. I've got to download it, and then I've just got to sit 1 week and just keep practicing it.
If you get stuck with any of it, Colin can probably help you with it. I don't have a clue, but he knows all about the types of files that you use. Stuff. I'd like to see Colin get his one working, actually. Quite cool.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get in touch with him for ages to see whether he wanted to do a joint build. He does his while I done mine, but I could never get in touch with him.
Colin's got at the moment is he's getting ready to get some work done on his house.
Oh, right, okay.
And a bit of reorganising of his man cave, so that it's more suitable for his needs. But as you can gather, the footprint of a 3D printer is quite big. So at the moment, I don't think he wants to build it up until all the building work's all done, and then he knows that he doesn't have to keep moving it about all the time and stuff. So,
well, I, like you, up until yesterday, would have said yes, the footprint of a 3D printer is quite big, but the one I've got is not.
It doesn't look any bigger than the footprint of a spray booth, but then again, I would be looking for somewhere to put up. I could possibly put it on the little table I've got at the side there. But
so whether they're all, I mean, mine's got pretty big dimensions. It's it prints, it's not one of the smaller ones. There is a bigger one out there. There's a really big one out there, which
See, I
is
thought Chris's was quite big because it's all kind of from laser etched MDF and then the running gear in, whereas yours has got an alloy frame.
yeah. That was a big factor in making my decision. The fact that there's a lot that are acrylic or MDF.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that it is really sturdy because it's.
I don't know enough about them, but I have got a slight spark interest in them. But the time I probably could afford to get one will be on to the next version of,
Well, this one was 120 I paid.
Yeah, but I mean, say for example, your extruder burnt out or whatever, because they do after time, because it's a component that what we would say is a non-serviceable component. It has a certain lifespan and then it burns itself out. How much is just an extruder on its own? It's costs like that. You have got to.
They're not that dear actually.
They're not.
I can't give you a price off the top of my head, but Spidic, who was in earlier, he actually did mention that yes, they are a component that you'll need to replace. But he did say they're very cheap. They come in packs of 3, and you can get them off Amazon.
Oh wow! Right. So yeah, as long as you're okay with just replacing the parts at component level and all that, yeah.
But it's these sort of things I'll pick up as I go along, and we'll go from there. But I mean, considering how dear they were, I don't know if you go back 2 years when they first come out, like you were talking. For one like this, you would be talking hundreds.
What's Sarge saying? I'm a lot like Colin. My home is networked with 5 computers. Oh, Colin's a whiz with all that. The closest I've ever got to networking is connecting 2 PCs with a direct LAN cable or through a what do you call it? A hub. Small home network. I don't have all the knowledge on that at all. I'm looking for bits. I'm looking for 2 of these bits. That's what I'm looking for. Is it 2 of these? 2 of these bits. Yeah. I typically wait till a few of my friends and that would get something like 3D printers and show me how they work and give me a bit of an insight and then go, go for this one and see it working rather than me biting the bullet and saving up for one and getting it and not having a clue how to work the bloody thing.
Yeah, so wise move. Right, so that's that. That's done. That's done. They're ready for painting.
It's quite a big investment as well. I mean, you're talking, right, okay, you got yours refurbed or whatever, but I mean, you're looking at a £200 machine or whatever, right?
Yeah.
How many models and things do you have to print out of that to get your money's worth,
Well, I don't think you've got to print that many. Look how much a figure is to buy if you buy a figure to paint.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Warhammer figures. Granted, they're a lot more detailed than anything I could print, probably. Mm-hmm. But you take the little ones, they're like 10, 15 quid each.
Yeah.
And little things like that. The resin parts and again, I won't be able to print that quality, but I will be able to print extras for any kits I'm building.
Have you got the camera locked on me again, Mark? No.
Yeah, it's locked on you. Sorry. So I will be able to buy extras or print extras that I normally, wouldn't be able to have because, I wouldn't be able to afford them. I'm limited by the materials that I buy. So this PLA, and I'm hoping, one of my big hopes is that I can get hold of some of this stuff that prints clear and see how well that is.
Colin's interested in like the scratch building aspect because he loves altering all these kits and that. I mean, you know, he doesn't build anything out the box. And he's got the skills to go into his 3D program and design the part that he wants to put onto the model to make it look different and then print it out. So it opens up a whole world of customization for him.
My first biggest project for that printer, if I can get everything going, is going to be your Star Trek group build.
Oh, right.
Because I want to scratch build a Borg cube.
A Borg what?
A Borg cube.
Oh, the cube. Oh, mind you talking about that, yeah.
So, and obviously the printer will be used for that.
See the places that you download, like the ones that other people have written.
Yeah.
Some of them are free and some of them you have to pay for, aren't they?
I haven't been and had a look, but yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, people will charge for some. And others will be free. I will, if I do make any, they'll be free to anyone that is part of the, part of the Sprue Surgery group or even your group. I'll anything I create will be free there. But outside of that, if somebody wants something made, I'd only charge cost. I wouldn't. I'm not in it for.
The thing is, then you've got to try and work out cost. The electricity for 8 hours of printing and the wear and tear on the machine, and yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah, that's a long way off that.
Sarge saying Game Body has some awesome stuff, but yeah, you have to pay a pittance for them. Oh, right. Okay, so
they're not that dear then. I mean, I haven't had a look, so Terry knows more than me on this.
I've just heard Colin and Chris and about sites that you can go on and download the files.
Yeah, that they will know more than me. I have got some files that I'm uploading to the Sprue Surgery Waiting Room. Thanks. That sort of beginner's guide to the Ender 3. So anyone that's got an Ender 3 or is buying an Ender 3, there'll be some files going up on there, and that's where I'll put all my prints that I create or download. Any that are free will go there.
Ender 3 sounds like some sort of...
Yeah, I know it does, doesn't it? I'm just worried. I'm glad they didn't put a big B in front of it.
Well, Mark, today we're going to construct you a new something out of the Ender B. Yeah.
Yeah. Whisper.
Is that your lady bringing you treats?
Yeah. Bringing me a little Whisper bar.
You got to keep your sugars up, mate.
I know so I only get one.
You ever thought about the 3D printing, John? I know you've done a lot of resin casting and stuff, but have you?
It's something that I'm interested in, but not at the minute because finances won't stretch to it.
Oh yeah. It's quite a big commitment to spend that sort of money on something that might not be very good, or unless you've done your research like Mike and Mark and bought something that's highly recommended. Paul Sharpman saying, I've just ordered a Revell 1600 Star Trek Enterprise. Anyone built one of these? Possibly, John.
What is it? The original series one or the J.J. Abrams one?
Is it the one that comes in the tin?
You get one in a tin?
Yeah, the anniversary one.
Mine came in a tin.
Was that like the one that Vincent did recently then, with all the fancy box and all that?
Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay.
AMT. T2.
So just saying, one good thing for me is when I get one of those printers, I know how to make 3D parts drawings myself. Yeah, Colin knows how to do that. He can do 3D manipulation. It's totally beyond me. One must always do research. Yeah.
Research.
Do they not use some sort of 3D printing now? You know how they can like do cartilage and stuff in the medical things for folk? Do they not 3D print body tissue parts these days, or is that?
Yeah, you know, I reckon they do, but not certainly not with the printers we're buying.
No.
But I reckon, yeah, they probably, I don't know. Well, they probably use a CNC machine to lay the proper metal.
I thought I saw something somewhere where there were. It was something to do with cartilage, and there was something that could do with cartilage, but I don't know if they were growing it on a platform like to recreate ears or stuff, or if they were 3D printing this stuff. It opens up so many avenues, isn't it?
You know when you go for your leg castings, Mark,
Yeah.
and they put the cling film around your leg and this, that, and the other, then build it up.
Yeah.
The new way that's coming out, it's being done now, is you sit in a chair with your leg in a relaxed position.
Yeah.
And they scan the stump.
Oh, so
Yeah, I've already had it done.
You had that one done, have you?
Yeah, that's been out a while.
Yeah. They scan the stump, and then the machine makes a 3D printed model of your leg.
Yeah,
that's make plaster of Paris.
Yeah, it's a lot cleaner. You don't have any of the bloody hassle of plaster of Paris and the bucket and all that crap.
Yeah. Mark in chat, that link you've put up on YouTube, what's that for, mate, before I show it to everybody, just in case it's some porner. Obviously, we don't know what the link is that you're trying to show before I enable it.
Oh yeah, I've because of previous.
Oh no, I have that on my channel as well. Yeah.
It's not meant to offend anyone. It hasn't singled you out for any reason.
Oh, it's a tutorial, Mark, that you might be interested in. So I'll allow that link then. It's a tutorial by Lars Christensen. Does some really good tutorials on Fusion 360, which I guess is a 3D thing.
That name rings a bell, Lars Christensen. Yeah.
Paul's saying he's just got the original series with Kirk on the front of the box, John, when we were talking about that.
The one Vincent's built.
Was that the one that Vincent's built?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 3D software. Yeah, I've not got a clue with that. I wonder if all that 3D software is similar to what the people do when they're being a gamer myself and having watched how they do all these games where they get the framework of the characters in the game and then they build up all the stuff on. Is it the same sort of stuff, do you think? What the game producers use to create their models, is that kind of what you do for your 3D printer?
Sorry, Terry, I was busy looking at instructions. What do you say?
See how well, we're both gamers, right? And we see how they do the games and they sit and like say they've got say it was like Far Cry or something like that, and you've got your character. So they do like a wireframe thing in the 3D thing of the character that you're going to be playing, and then they add on. Is that kind of what the 3D software is like? Mark's going, no, right? Okay.
All right. You know, that's that. I would have asked that as well. So, yeah, I would have. Yeah, because it makes sense. You got that wireframe and then you build up your layers on top, don't you? And it gives you your character.
John's just trying to show there, Paul, that have you built that one, John? Then have you?
It's the one me and Vincent to build it, but Vince is lit his and I haven't.
Right.
The thing is, it comes with clear parts and all the routing for a lighting kit. So you can actually light that Enterprise up quite easily.
Mark in chat says the 3D printing stuff uses a similar technique, but it's mainly using shapes.
Right. So,
It'll be a while off before I get one anyway, that's for sure.
well, you never know. I mean, I was lucky. It fell at the right time. We've got solar panels on our roof. So every 3 months we get a little bit of money back.
Oh, right, yeah.
Um,
There was a big thing about all that sort of, you know, people with little wind turbines on their houses putting it back into the grid and that, but I heard that the money you got back off it was kind of pitiful.
to be honest, it is. It's certainly not worth investing in at the moment, unless they've improved it.
Because there was people coming around the houses, seemingly the government was doing grants for solar panels and all
Yeah,
that.
we were lucky. We got a government grant, but we got stiffed on it quite badly by the company that put it in. And
how many years do you think it would take you to get back on savings with having these solar panels in?
well, judging from the figures they quoted at the time, the figures they put in and the figures they said it cost, I would say you would be struggling to make your money back.
Oh, really?
But, and this is the big but, we got screwed by the company that put them in.
Ah, right. Okay.
So we were supposed to have 8 solar panels. We only got given 6.
Ah.
So we're down 2 already. And then the converter, there was a brand new converter that was supposed to be used for our solar panels. And because there wasn't enough solar panels, it wouldn't fire up because it needed the extra solar panels to run it. And instead of putting the extra solar panels on, the owner of the company that was doing it said, I've got an older generator. I'll let you have mine. You see where this is going?
That would cope with a smaller amount of... So
yeah, and I'll take yours.
And you're not going to access the power then, are you? So
he got the powerful new technology converter and gave us his fucking shitty X1 that he'd been using. He probably had our other 2 solar panels and all.
What the hell?
I complained to the council at the time. I said,
the council gives you the grant, doesn't it?
Yeah, I said to them, he's screwing you. He's absolutely taking you for a mug. I said he's taking us for a mug and all, but they wouldn't. They refused to act on it.
It's a weird one.
So anyway, the lady secretary that worked for the company and the electrician knew that he was screwing us. So when it came to filling in the paperwork, they filled in the paperwork and said we owned them.
All right, okay.
I don't know what that means in terms of anything, but I think it just means that we didn't have to. I don't know, to be honest. They made it sound like they were doing us a big favour anyway.
Yeah. Mark's the same as me. He says he's a council tenant, but thought it would be better for local authorities to invest yet they ignore the issue. I don't know if it's... To me, it just seemed like a fad, firing a load of...
Yeah, they've not turned out to be the next big thing like everyone thought, although they are putting them up everywhere still.
I know a lot of rural places are using a little wind generator.
Yeah.
or with a propeller on it, you know, but it's, yeah, how much are you actually ploughing back into the grid?
Well, we've got a meter, and that's supposed to measure all this, and I can tell you that nothing goes back into the grid from our solar panels.
Does it reduce your overall electricity bill though then?
No, but every 3 months we get an amount back. So, and it's not a lot. Like Christmas, over the Christmas period, 3 months we'll probably get 40 quid back.
So surely if these are active and they're ploughing electricity into your house, you're going to be using less grid electricity, or is it not working that way?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure how it's working, to be honest. But
I would have thought the whole idea is that obviously while the sunlight is out there, you're going to be topping up your electricity in your house.
Yeah, I know, but it's
a weird thing then.
Yeah, I'm not even going to begin to know how they work it out. It's
Munchkin's in, Munchkin Modelling Man's in. Afternoon, evening, all. How you doing? I'm laughing at Paul. Anything like the council, they know how to waste money. The thing is, I suppose they get allocated a budget and then they spend that budget. So,
Hold on.
How are you getting on with your kit, Sprue? Is it going together all right?
Yeah. I just thought I'd made a mistake there for a minute, but I haven't.
What makes that kit?
Edward Profi Pack.
Oh, so the instructions should be good then. I've not actually done an Edward kit yet.
Yeah, I have. They're quite good. Right, we're in there. Capillary action, go and do your thing.
Sarge is saying he's just saw an article about 3D printing smaller bones for facial injuries. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, probably a lot of leaps and bounds will go in the medical.
Can you imagine if you go into surgery and they've got somebody doing the 3D printing, but they're not very good at it? And you come out with an eyebrow that's like sort of stuck out here at right angles with all lines all over it.
Oh, dear, yeah. Thing is, all these designer eyebrows that the girls are wearing now.
Yeah. You got a jawbone that's sort of.
What is it with these designer eyebrows anyway now that the girls are all doing? I find it all a bit strange. Or am I just getting old? Am I just an old fart and don't?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about eyebrows, so I'm missing out on something there.
You know, the young girls now, they're drawing on like high def eyebrows and all that sort of stuff. I didn't get it. It just makes them look so cartoony.
Oh yeah, where they got the crayons and they're like.
Yeah. Well, Mark in the chat's laughing. He says they'll come out looking like the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
A 3D printed face. Oh dear, that's funny.
Yeah, I can just see it. What you in for? I've the cheek repaired.
Here you go. Oh, you've got to give it a hey, you guys, Mark. I think you'd be good at that one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's junk. Is it junk? I can't remember now. Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys.
Right, quiet because I'm concentrating. Everybody's going, thank fuck.
Yeah, get out before he starts doing that impression again.
Oh, big shaky sausage fingers. Oh, bollocks.
C34, C22.
Yay, you sunk my battleship.
Yeah, C33, you sunk my battleship. And these are all parts that have got to be yellow, red, silver, green, grey. Oh dear Lord.
A lot of colours in that one, is it?
Apparently so. This is... I'm not going to see any of this though.
Paul Chapman says he works on behalf of the council who could tell a few stories. Aye.
C22, C34. Let me have a look here. D. C's over here.
Excuse me. Capture my throat there.
C 33. Some way of labeling these. All right, okay, I'm gonna have to use cocktail stick and masking tape. So we may as well close with a quick quick lesson here on marking small pieces.
Apologies, Mark.
That's okay. So let me just bring that onto me. So, for example, in these next few steps, it's all very small pieces. They're all coloured differently. So obviously, they're in a situation where I don't want to be attaching them to the main part because I'm not going to get access to the back. I need to paint these separately. But the thing is, many of the parts look very much the same. And once they're off the sprue, there's going to be no way of identifying them. So what we need to do is, in this case, so this is number 33, C33. I am going to, this is where it all falls apart and goes wrong, but we'll give it a go. Using the
Oh, bastard, the carpet once I've got that one.
just gluing this on here quickly. It can take a while sometimes. Super glue's sometimes just not super enough. And then if you just have somewhere that you can place that, while you would have obviously sorted this out ahead of time. Get yourself a strip of masking tape and stick that down somewhere so that you don't have to matter about losing its tack on this, because it's not going anywhere near a painted surface. Let me just find a pen and then simply write C33. And if you want, you can write on it the colour so you don't have to keep going back to your instructions. And then yellow, and then round the base of your cocktail stick, just wrap that round there, so the next time you look at it you can see straight away it's C33 yellow. Paint it, clear it, and then when you come back it's ready to go. So there you go. Finish with a quick little lesson there for anyone that's new. I don't know, many of the people that are in here are not new, but you never know, somebody new might watch this, and it's all about helping other people out. I think I'm going to leave it there.
Apologies, I'm muted my mic because I bit shot off to the carpet monster, so I'm hunting.
Oh, right, yeah, that's okay. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that there. And I'd like to thank you all for coming and watching. It's been a fun evening tonight. It's been, you know, laid back, relaxed, just enjoying building. This hangout will carry on off air. So it'll be an off-air hangout. It's the same link. So if you want to come in and join off-air, just go into the Sprue Surgery Waiting Room, or if you're a member of the Sprue Surgery Hangouts, then you'll get a link, the link that was sent to you at the beginning of this show. You can still use that to drop in and say hello and join us. So once again, thanks for watching. Be back later in the week with some more 3D shenanigans and some more building and stuff. And I'll see you all then. So thanks for watching. Say bye from me. And thank you to Terry and Gordon for dropping in. Terry for helping with the chat. It's been most appreciated. Great to have guests on. It really is. It really does a great boost for the show. And hopefully next week we will have toppled the 500. We are so close. See you later. Bye for now.
Catch you later.
Bye.